Many of us are familiar with the Big Bang Theory, which explains the possible origin of the universe. A very solid theory which to this day is still the most supported by researchers. But was there something before the universe? It is difficult to imagine anything before the origin of all the planets and the infinite galaxies that make up outer space. However, the advance of technology has made that today, we have the possibility of being one step closer to our origin. After decades of work, a group of scientists was able to create a massive space telescope known as James Webb, which could be the answer to finding the origin of all creation. But will it be able to observe the first second in which it all began? Stay to the end to find out if James Webb could be the answer to centuries of scientific questions or just a beautiful illusion. Mankind's greatest achievement. After being launched into space, the James Webb Space Telescope, known to be the largest, most expensive and complex telescope ever built in history, with the potential to usher in a new era of astronomy, began its mission to image the exciting origin of the universe. The construction of this telescope was extremely costly, requiring an investment of $10 billion, which is no small amount. However, the bills were paid, kicking off one of the most important missions of the era that could be an incalculable value to all mankind since the birth of our species. With the help of this powerful observatory, today NASA plans to explore the cosmos and unravel the hidden truth of our origin and of the birth of each of the vast alien planets we have yet to discover. Its predecessor. The arrival of the James Webb Telescope replaced the Hubble Space Telescope, which has been in operation for more than 30 years, revealing incredible discoveries, planets, and bringing us unprecedented scientific results. However, this telescope had a problem, since its 2.4-meter diameter mirror limited its sensitivity and its ability to observe the faintest objects. Moreover, its relative ability to observe infrared light was not sufficient to access the wavelengths of light from the oldest stars and galaxies in history. Fortunately, James Webb was able to get rid of this impediment, incorporating the technology and equipment necessary to allow us to access the view of the first stars formed using the primordial matter of the Big Bang that remain unknown. Observing these stars would help us to understand the moment in which they were formed and how the basic components of the first galaxies were produced, becoming a great advance in the astronomical field and one of our greatest space achievements. How powerful is this telescope? According to Nobel laureate John Mather, one of the lead scientists on the project at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland, the James Webb Telescope is so powerful that even if a bee were 240,000 miles away, about the distance between the Earth and the Moon, we would be able to see it. With such spectacular power, it's no wonder NASA has so much faith in this telescope and its ability to observe whatever science set its sights on. The key to its power lies in the 4 instruments that make up the telescope, such as the mid-infrared instrument, designed to measure the mid-infrared wavelength range, allowing it to observe cooler, more distant, and of course older objects than near-infrared. Then there is the near-infrared camera, an infrared camera designed to view the farthest objects in the visible cosmos, and the near-infrared spectrograph, capable of capturing spectra of 100 individual objects or points in space simultaneously, with an image generator and orientation sensor that will help Webb aim precisely and obtain images of the highest possible quality, and a capability to observe 13.8 billion light-years away. The answers to everything we ever wanted to know are closer than ever. The key to this project. As you can imagine from hearing about the capabilities of its instruments, the key to this project that will allow us to see into the farthest reaches of space lies in its ability to detect infrared light. But why is this so important? As the universe expands, light waves from the first stars and galaxies are stretched out. Naturally, as soon as those waves reach us, their shape becomes too elongated to be seen as visible light. So they appear as infrared, becoming a form of invisible energy that can only be detected as heat. On the other hand, there is the fact that many stars and planets form in clouds of gas and dust, obscuring our perspective. The infrared lights allow us to see through these layers, which would otherwise block our view, just as our radiologist can see through our body to get to our bones, using X-rays. Just imagine the things we'll be able to observe from a completely unimaginable distance through this telescope. Will we be able to find life on other planets? Of course, there are many other secrets to unravel throughout the universe, and the origin of life and all matter are just a few of them. For example, when the first plans to launch this telescope were discussed some 30 years ago, we knew of no planets other than those in our solar system. The first exoplanet was discovered on June 9, 1992 by radio astronomers Alexander Vostan and Dale Frail, which would later lead to the discovery of thousands of new planets. Thanks to JWST's wavelength coverage being well-tuned to study molecules in the atmosphere of exoplanets, its great advantage over ground-based telescopes could help us answer another question that scientists have been asking for generations. Is there life on other planets? If all the circumstances are met, there is a chance that we will find new planets similar to the Earth, and that one of them may harbor some form of life. But things don't stop there, as this telescope could also uncover the clues we need to understand the origin of the Earth. How far back in time will we be able to see? If we think about it for a moment, the James Webb is more like a time machine than a telescope itself. So far, there is no other technological device created by mankind that allows us to go back so many millions of years in time. Although its purpose is to observe the universe, each of Webb's discoveries has the potential to zoom into the darkest and most unexplored corners of history, as if time had never paused. With this telescope, researchers will be able to observe all phases of cosmic history, going back from the formation of the first stars and galaxies to the origin of life forms and each of today's planets. It is a highly ambitious project which has all the tools needed to achieve its purpose, after so many years of research and sacrifice. However, no matter how accurate and powerful James Webb is, it is likely that we will only be able to go back a few 100,000 years after the Big Bang explosion, but not precisely to the moment when it happened. This is because, initially, the universe was opaque to all energy until hundreds of thousands of years later. But that is nothing to be discouraged about. If we get all the information we can and travel back in time with this telescope, we will be able to find the pieces we need to put together the puzzle that represents the origin of the universe and the Earth, unraveling those mysterious first years so primordial, which will bring us one step closer to finding the reason for our existence and our purpose in this life. But what do you think, guys? Do you think James Webb will be able to find the origin of the universe and unravel its secrets? I'll be reading you in the comments. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, let us know what you would like the next video to be about. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for future updates. See you soon!